Hello, darkness, my old friend. This trip was time to head somewhere new, but not before stopping off to catch up with an old friend. After a couple of days of catching up, it was time to ease into the adventure. Equipped with some local knowledge, it was time to ignore most of that and hit some of the local trails. Alright, so I'm doubling back because there's a bit too much fennel for my liking after the escarpment track, so I'm going to try see how far I get, but I'm having none of that. Can't say that I'm unfit, but I'm feeling that. So, top of Tomato Peak. Weren't sure that we were going to make that given some of the local greenery on the way up, but here we are. So now try and make it back down without too many details. Somehow or another, I've picked up on the blue route that I would have come up on. Somewhere I deviated away from it, but this takes me back down to the big redwoods. So I'm going back down the steep way. You can actually see way down in the distance. That's the track that I came up on. Be what it'll be, and hopefully I don't have to double back on any of this.
In 600 metres, turn right onto Waitangi Road.
Free camping in the Hawke's Bay is quite the challenge. So I've hunted out the only free camping spot. There is a limited number of spots where you can actually park at that particular site, so pretty much a roll of the dice, otherwise we'll get inventive. Don't get me wrong, I could stealth camp, but the heart of the channel is empowering you guys to be able to get out and enjoy the outdoors and identifying good places to be able to go and good places to be able to do it. And if I'm stealth camping, can't really identify that, and it's not all that helpful to you because you could just stealth camp anywhere if you wanted to anyway. Well, they say if the vibe is off, don't stay there. And in this case, the vibe was most definitely off. And so that was my cue to leave. Basically what I gained from that is they're trying to keep anyone who might be slightly undesirable away from their free camping areas, which leaves people like you and me pretty well buggered.
On the way out, I were thinking this is quite a long drive from Napier. I'm now thinking it's worth it. I'm also thinking you'll probably agree.
Very foggy road heading back into Napier. Got another campsite in mind for tonight. That's very cool. Definitely keen to head back there again. It's going to be another one of those trips that sees me creating a very big list of places I want to come back to or that I didn't realise were there and I want to visit next time.
The view should be worth it, but it's definitely the less scenic long way. It's not the first time that Google's decided that we don't go the most direct route. Far too nice for me. Bluff Hill's a little bit outside of my normal realm, but it's definitely worth taking a look at when you come into Napier. So heading up Hornsey Road is by far the easiest way to walk up Bluff Hill, and you can park just down the road. Don't follow Google because it's a shit show.
Decided to take a bit of a rest break. I was kind of starting to notice that I weren't feeling quite so well. Part of that's that I haven't eaten since breakfast at like 6 this morning. It's now 2:15. And that may be the general anxiety of heading away to somewhere that I've not been before. It could also be the fact that I've had 4 coffees before lunch, which I haven't done in a few years now, in an attempt to manage my anxiety. The other side of it is when you are a coffee guy and you call in on mates who are also coffee guys and coffee roasters and otherwise, you can't not have a coffee with them. And so yeah, I've probably had far more coffee than I would have typically had, and I actually feel like I'm feeling the effects of it. So one thing that I learned somewhere, can't remember where, is bananas help you metabolize caffeine. But this is actually quite a beautiful wee spot just to pull over in the middle of nowhere. And I can see by the road why it's going to take me so long to where I'm going, despite the fact that it's not a huge amount of distance, because it's just really windy. But that tends to lead to beautiful places, so we'll see how that goes. It is incredible how the remoteness can leave you feeling insignificant. This short bit of road, so many things to stop and look at that if I stop and look at all of them, I'll never get to where I've planned to go. It almost brings a sadness that never going to experience all the things that the world has to offer. It really is about capturing moments and taking the time to enjoy those moments. I'm not going to get to see all of the things, but I'm going to try and take the time to enjoy the things that I do see.
Isn't it ironic? Well, I do like me a good hot spring, and this ticks a few boxes. Don't you think? This is Mangatutu Hot Springs in the Kaweka Ranges, if I'm correct. Yeah, I think it's worth the drive. So if anyone needs me, I'll be just over here, going with the flow. A little too ironic. And taking self-love to a whole new level with my lime and coconut scented candle. It's like really ironic. Like a free ride when you've already paid. All that good advice that you just can't take. Who would have figured? Dinner time. So, not allowed fires at Mangatutu. Sorry, Mangatutu. Mangatutu is a hut in the Tongariro National Park. Worthless information. And realistically, at the moment, all of the Hawke's Bay is in fire ban, as is all of the Wairarapa, pretty much all of the east coast. Good chance to come in and explore places like this where I can't have a fire, rather than wasting fire cooking days or opportunities in places you can't have fire anyway. Empty the fridge at home as per usual. So it's not going to be exciting, but damn, it's going to be good, and it already smells good. That's pretty amazing. I don't care if you're a bird nerd or not. you know, these Tuesday morning hot pools, something I could definitely get used to.
What an amazing place. Definitely going to be coming back there again in the future. So there are actually 2 lots of hot pools at Mangatutu. The other ones are about 2.5 hours walk. So there's a hut in there, about 45 minutes past the hut, and you can camp there. So that is the plan next time. Don't just hate getting stuck in traffic.
Camera just does not do justice to just how many trees are in here and how big they are. There's some absolutely massive cockatiel, just wow, so many of them. And the bird life's pretty good too. This is Balls Clearing, and almost drove past this again today. I drove past it yesterday and almost didn't stop, just carrying on, but that's not really what this is about, because I may not get back here, or I may not have time next time. Another one of those beautiful scenic reserves where people had the foresight to stop it being logged. The signboard says that it's quite rare for how densely growing the trees are, and some of them are up to 600-700 years old, estimated.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. So I've literally just left Balls Clearing, and after hundreds, thousands of kilometres without touching fuel tanks or anything else, haven't got fuel. So, see how this goes. Seems like an unhappy magnet. The front tank doesn't want to work, which the front tank hasn't wanted to work for a long time, but switch back and forward again, and the rear tank is currently doing what it should. So that's nice. Full of confidence.
In 300 meters, turn left to stay on Walden Road. Continue for 4 kilometers.
At this point, I take back all the things I said about Google not taking the most direct route.
Right, so it's not deep. Knee high, there's a few rocks, there's no big holes. And there's somewhere to go on the other side. So Google did actually warn that there was partial restrictions on a road on the route that I'd chosen. I didn't quite realise that it would be restricted to four-wheel drive only, but that's okay. I just hope it actually gets out now.
No shit.
Interestingly enough, a chap I was talking to at campsite this morning, he said that you could get through that way. He never mentioned river crossings, so there we are.
Here we are. Kuripapango on the Napier Taihape Road. So I've stayed here once before a number of years ago and it was busy. Even end of January or whenever it was that we stayed here, it was busy. So very weird to come here now and there be absolutely nobody around. So peaceful. So I'm just having a roam around picking up rubbish and so on because that's what I do, and I'm not all that sure about what I'm going to do. I'm a little bit restless. Going to be back at work on Thursday. It's Tuesday today, so at the latest I'm going home tomorrow. Woodstock. Not quite Cody's. Once you graduate there, you're a complete no surprise. So, let's go and have a look at the river. Just generally have a bit of a chill. See what happens. This is a beautiful little swimming spot, and usually it's absolutely packed with people. But I might as well pick up some rubbish, see if I settle in. At the very least, it gives me a little bit of a break from driving. So it's 3:15. I'm actually thinking I'm going to carry on. I've never really considered coming here for a weekend. So with that, I'm hoping to come back here with some others who actually introduced me to this campsite. Explore some other things that neither of us have explored but have considered exploring. But for now, it's time to hit the road and see what we can find. despite the fact that I'm travelling home tonight, it doesn't mean that I have to rush. Springvale Suspension Bridge, which was the original bridge across the Mangatutu River. It was restored a number of years ago, but a very rare example of this type of suspension bridge apparently, and it will be 100 years old next year. It's only up past 4, but this is as good a spot as any to have dinner. Be absolutely anywhere having dinner right now. This is pretty sweet, and the light is with daylight saving over, it gets really dark really quick. And it makes it feel incredibly late. With that, I'm going to call it. Hope you enjoyed that journey. I sure did.